My understanding is that those Jews who didn't end up, as my grandparents did, in the Lower East Side of New York, came to Boston around the same time. You know, the mass wave of Jews came to the United States in 1881, up until 1924, when the very rigid anti-immigration law became sacrosanct, became absolutely categoric. And it was never rescinded, even during the height of the Holocaust, when literally millions of desperate Jews had no place to go to escape Hitler. So that 1924 law held firm. Those who didn't come to New York or Chicago or LA apparently came here to Boston, and they first settled in the North End. North End was essentially a Jewish neighborhood. By the time the North End was bulldozed, you know, back in the early 50s, it was essentially Italian, but there were still remnants of Jews there. But Jews congregated in Mattapan, Dorchester, and Roxbury. And you can still see the original building of Mishkan Tefillah on Seaver Street in Roxbury. It is now a incredible church into which was poured $26 million by a very small Christian sect. And, you know, Judaism in Boston is essentially broken down into the major denominationals. I would suggest, I'd have to check my figures, but Orthodox, about 8%. Reform is about 33%. Conservatives, about 31%, just slightly less. And Reconstruction is no more than 2%. But they're very powerful here because Tova Spitzer is a Reconstructionist rabbi who is also the national president or the national chair of the Reconstructionist movement. To define what is Jewish is extremely difficult, extremely inchoate or fluid or perhaps amorphous. Most Jews feel comfortable with themselves as Jews. They feel terribly uncomfortable when they're asked to define what it means to be Jewish.